بذكر الله ترتاح القلوب وتنزاح المتاعب والكروب.
الحمد لله رب العالمين، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل وسلم وزد وبارك على هذا النبي المبارك وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه إلى يوم الدين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما يا رب العالمين. أما بعد, believers, السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. صبحكم الله بالخير، طبتم طاب مشاكم وتبوأتم من الجنة منزلا. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our salah, our good deeds, and forgive our sins and shortcomings. Ameen Ya Rabb al-Alamin. Believers, this is the second class for Kitab Al-Tawheed, the book of Tawheed. Inshallah, we made last time introduction for Ilm al-Kalam, Ilm al-Tawheed. What's Ilm al-Tawheed, Tawheed science, and the history. And first people talk about that knowledge and why that book or that kind of knowledge come in Islam. And today we're gonna go to the al-Matn that we explain, Matn al-Kharida Al Bahyah, the explanation of Matn al-Kharida Al Bahyah. Matn means text. Matn means text. The ulama in Islam, since Tabi'een, they summarize the topic in a poem. We can say that in a song. Why? To make it easy for the students to memorize it. Once memorize that matn, this poem, know entire the ilm. We have matn al-Kharida Al Bahyah, we have متن تحفة الأطفال التجويد، الجزرية التجويد، الشاطبية القراءات. All branches of knowledge are language and علوم شرعية. They have kind of matn text that summarize all the topic for the students, and then teacher come to explain line by line, decode. We can see the decoding the ilm, the knowledge in that point. So Al-Kharida Al Bahyah, what Kharida Al Bahyah means? Al-Kharida Al Bahyah means the bright pearl. You know pearl, diamond, pearl, and bright, light. So Sheikh call it by that. Why? Because this is light for those who study that knowledge for the topic of Tawheed. That's why Sheikh Ahmed Dardir, rahimahullah, call it by that title. Al-Kharida Al Bahyah. Al-Kharida means pearl, diamond, jewel. Al-Bahyah, bright. So Sheikh, rahimahullah, start with that. Sheikh Ahmed Dardir. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Imam Ahmed al-Dardir, may Allah please with him, starts presenting himself. Talk about himself first. And this is the custom of the scholars. Who are you? I am so and so and so. So, يقول راجي رحمة القدير أي أحمد مشهور بالدردير. Ahmed al-Dardir, the servant who wishes the mercy of Allah, the most powerful, presents. Alhamdulillahi al-Ali al-Wahidi al-Alim al-Fard al-Ghani al-Majidi. All praise is due to Allah, the sublime, the one, the all-knowing, the unique, the self-sufficient, the magnificent. وأفضل الصلاة والتسليم على النبي المصطفى الكريم. And the best blessing, peace, mercy be upon the generous Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. وآله وصحبه الأطهار لا سيما رفيقه في الغار. And his righteous family, companions, especially his companion of cave. Who is that one? Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu anhu. After Sheikh Ahmad al-Dardir rahimahullah introduces by praising Allah, sending prayers upon the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam, and giving idea about the main topic to encourage students to study it. Then he started talking about first topic in the Tawheed from this line number 9 or number 5. وهذه عقيدة سنية سميتها الخريدة البهية. And this is a correct Islamic Sunni belief. I name it the bright pearl. لطيفة صغيرة في الحجم لكنها كبيرة في العلم. Simple and small but big in knowledge. تكفيك علما إن ترد أن تكتفي لأنها بزبدة الفن تفي. It is enough for you if you will, because it is outlines of the topic, summarize the topic. والله أرجو في قبول العمل والنفع منها ثم غفر الزلل. Asking Allah acceptance, that deed, and benefits all, and forgive any mistakes. Second class, go to the tools. It's very important. Tools to understand and introduce or enter that kind of knowledge. What the tools? That knowledge, علم الكلام, علم التوحيد. The first tool, use it, the brain, the mind, العقل والنقل. العقل, the brain, the mind. والنقل, القرآن والسنة. والقرآن والسنة, no contrast, no contrast between Quran, Sunnah, and العقل, the mind. But here they use عقل first. Why? Because as we mentioned, this is come to nations, to people make fitna in that time, or nation has philosophy, depend on the mind, العقل. And also, as we mentioned last week, that kind of knowledge protect youth and protect member of Ummah from two signs of damage. Number one, atheism. They protect youth from atheism, because the proof existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, first by mind, by aql, okay? And second by Quran and Sunnah. And there is no contrast between Quran, Sunnah, and al-aql, or the mind. So what the tool here? Al-aql is salim, the sound, the sane mind. Has 3 levels of rules concerning anything in the existence. Again, the sound mind, the sane mind, the sane mind. The sound mind has 3 levels to judge, to decide. What are the 3 levels? Let's see, Sheikh. أقسام حكم العقل لا محالة هي الوجوب ثم الاستحالة. Absolutely, mental ruling types are 3. Mental inevitable and mental impossible. ثم الجواز ثالث الأقسام فافهم منحت لذة الأفهام. And the third is mental possible. So possible, impossible, inevitable, or necessary. We can see inevitable. This is my translation, by the way. If you see anything, because this is still under editing. The book is under editing, and this is my translation. And the first translation ever for that poem. So you may hear some words academic or is not used. Please correct me. So inevitable means necessary, must be, must be. How many? 1, 2, 3. Possible, impossible, and necessary. Necessary. We're going to explain how that. Any sane mind, any sane sound mind say that. And the third is mental possible. Learn you may have the sweetness of the understanding. This is the da'wah of the Shaykh for those who understand. Allah give you the sweetness of knowledge. Knowledge has sweetness, and understanding has sweetness. To understand, comfort your heart, your mind, come down from any doubts and so on. Here, the Shaykh, rahimahullah, sets up the rules of understanding, tawheed, monotheism, knowledge. It is mental approach that resulted three types of rulings of sane mind. We speak about sane mind because anything outside that circle go to different kind of mind. Yeah, these people who deny God, for example, they are unseen. They are insane, or we can say some issues in their mind. To deny the sun in the middle of the sky, you have issues in your eyes, right? Same for those who deny God, atheism, you have issues in their mind. You are not regular mind. So here we speak about the sane mind. Anything else, we can discuss and see different kind of thinking or mind. Either necessary, must, inevitable, or possible or impossible. So the approach of the understanding tawheed, monotheism, knowledge is mentally. The approach to go there is mentally. So verifying and discussing monotheism science is through topic, logic, and ration, beside the texts, Quran and Sunnah. Of course, these mental evidence are either the first rule, mental necessary, mental inevitable, which means the same mind say it must be such and such. Example. When you see a child, logic, this child has father and mother. Impossible to say that come to the life without father and mother, right? So any existence must have the one who existed it in this globe. Okay? That little example. Second rule, impossible. Something impossible. Which means the sane mind say it's impossible to be such and such. The third, al-jaiz. Possible, mental or mental possible. Potential, which means the sane mind say it may be or it may be not. First, now Sheikh, we're going to explain in details. First, mental rules. Let's go more deeper and ask this question. What is mental inevitable or mental necessary? All these tools, ya Jama'ah, to understand the coming lines of the topic. Mental necessary is which the sane mind cannot reject it. Sane mind cannot reject it. Example. The sane mind cannot deny performer or doer of the action. Any action must have somebody did that action, right? The sane mind say that, right? I'm trying to simplify it. Any action must have somebody did that action. There is no action without performer, without doer, without somebody did that action. The sane mind say that, right? So any action has performer beyond it. Thus, when you find a dining table of food in an empty place, imagine that, and nobody beside that dining table, So it is impossible to say the food prepared itself by itself. Look at that example. So your mind automatically say, must somebody prepare that dining table? There's action, prepare food, bring it here. Somebody did that. If somebody say, no, it's prepared itself by itself. Table prepares itself by, what we can say about that kind of mind thinking? Yes, exactly.
Issues.
Huh?
Issues.
Issues, mental issues. Exactly. So this is the meaning of necessary. خلي بالكم that's very important, because that drive us later to think deeper in the globe, the sun, the moon, the galaxies, all that stuff around us must. The sane mind says must. Without prophets, without messengers, must have somebody did that. Cannot come by itself. That's a good evil. So it's impossible to say the food prepared itself by itself. It is a must, somebody prepared it. And despite you don't see him or know him, if you don't know him or didn't see him, it's not evidence that this table come by itself. Somebody prepared that, but I don't see him, I don't know him. It's a different issue, different case. Think about that. But there is hand beyond preparation this table. That's a mental necessary. ده بنسميه, is call it mental necessary, mental inevitable. Is inevitable is okay, it's correct word. Inevitable. Inevitable. Different pronunciation. Anyway, different way of pronunciation, but you understand the word, right? Alhamdulillah. Mental necessary. This is easy for me. Mental necessary must be, or this is the way of the sane mind think. Sane mind think. This is how the sane mind think. That respond these people who deny everything and everything God by itself. By itself. This issue here, mental issue. Next, another example. If you come to your house and find a parcel in front of your house door, you found in front of your door, house, envelope. Your mind says somebody put it here for me. That's mental necessary. So many examples about the mental necessary in our life around us indicates to the necessary existence. The Creator, Allah, the sun, the moon, the stars, galaxies, many. All that indicate mentally. Now good Quran and Sunnah aside, mentally, that there is power beyond that globe. This power we call it God, Allah. How we know that? Now the prophets' job. The prophet's job. Come to say, this sun, this sky, this is created by God, Allah. And He asks you to do such and such and such and such. Now the job of the prophets. We cannot worship Allah by our own desire. No. Because now you accept God. Accept Allah. But what Allah wants from me? Why Allah bring me here? Why my job? What's my job here? This is a job of prophets now. Look at this very important study for every Muslim and Muslim, especially youth. Youth in this environment, especially. Yeah. Atheism, like fire everywhere. Because there is no kind of study like that. Alhamdulillah. Indicate mentally to the necessary existence. يسميه في علم الكلام we call it واجب الوجود. This is term very important يا جماعة احفظوها. واجب الوجود. واجب الوجود. Must be. Must existence. Must be existence. كلمة the translation for واجب الوجود. This is very important term. واجب الوجود Allah سبحانه وتعالى. Mentally واجب الوجود سبحانه وتعالى. The one, the unique God, just we need to think neutrally and impartially. يعني away from any impact. And think away from any impact. Easy, gonna reach to the truth. Second, mental rule. This is the first mental rule concerning necessary, wajib, or daruri, or wajib. The second, al-mustahil, the opposite. Al-mustahil, impossible. Which is the mental impossible or impossible mentally. It is the opposite of the previous one. Mental duty or necessary. That is when the sane mind cannot prove it. Cannot prove it. Opposite what we mentioned before. Like deny God. That's impossible. Saying that child came to the life without mother. How that? That's a mental issue here now. Without father. That's against the sane mind. That's to say impossible mentally. Example. To believe an action without doer, without somebody did that. Which means without somebody did the action. This is impossible mentally. Example. The car has been made without maker, without factory. Can we see that? You see car here and there, everywhere. This comes by itself. That's mentally impossible. If somebody say that, what do we say about him? Yeah, majnoon. Issues, mental issues. We go take him to the hospital, mental clinic, because he says something against the mind, the same mind. The car has been made without maker, or a child comes to the life without parent. That's impossible mentally. Hence, divinity is necessary existence. Why? Why? Can I receive the answer from you before I'm saying that? Why? Wajib al-wujud. Why? God must be existence. Why? Everything around us indicates to existence of the most powerful, the creator, divinity, Allah, God, subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because we have found globes, universe, cosmetic, and they didn't claim that they created themselves by themselves. Is another part. The sun never say, I create myself by myself. The sun, the moon, the galaxies, all that stuff. Only one claim that I'm the creator, and no one against him. If somebody claim house and no one oppose him, claim plot, land, and go to the court and no one oppose him, the judge, according to the law, should judge for him. Right? So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the only one claim, I'm the creator for what you see or unseen. And no one opposes, even from those who claim they are God, from among like Fir'aun, like Namrud, like all these guys. They never claimed they created the sun. They never claimed they created the moon, So their claim is lying, is not true. Only one claimed he created everything, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and no one opposes him, so the case go to him. Subhanallah. That mentally, we think mentally in this point. Now, so who created them? Only Allah claims that He created everything, so the case closed to Him without any dispute. This is called necessary existence. واجب الوجود. نحفظها كده. memorize it. واجب الوجود. واجب الوجود. A necessary existence. So the mental impossible is to imagine there is an action without doer, or it is insane. Example, for the mental impossible, the baby was born before his mother. Can that mental issue if we say that? Baby come before mother. Or the one is bigger than 10. The number one is bigger than number 10. Now we have issues here. We think by this way. The one is bigger than 10, and the globe created by itself. The third type, which is jaiz, maybe yes, maybe no. Mental possible, it means something could be or could not be. Example, me and you, we could be existed or not in real life. Maybe. Okay? Two persons married, male, female, man, woman, married. They may have child or no. That's possible. Maybe yes, maybe no. You study hard in the school, in the college, and your target to get A plus. You may get A plus or A or B or everything here in this on the table is possible. We cannot say impossible or necessary. No, this case is middle between both necessary and impossible. Note these mental rulings, or we can say mental laws, قانون عقل. The sane mind think by this way of thinking for the sane mind, are very important to understand, to learn Tawheed, monotheism, science. They are tools of Tawheed knowledge. We can stop here. Now we studied like 10 lines out of 70. 10 out of 7. But to take the introduction, and very important introduction concerning understand the coming lines, inshallah. والله أعلى وأعلم وصلي اللهم وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. جزاكم الله خيرا.